Fresh developments occurred across the federal ministries, their agencies and parastatals this week. Let's now share with you some authoritative news information right away on Ministry News. The federal government, through the Nigerian Police Trust Fund, has donated 200 Buffalo-branded operational vehicles, bulletproof vests, protective helmets, drugs and medical equipment to the Nigerian Police Force to aid policing in the country. The operational vehicles and other security hardware were handed over to the Inspector General of Police by the representative of President Muhammadu Buhari, the Minister of Police Affairs, Dr. Muhammad Maigari Dingyadi, at the Force Headquarters, Louis Edet House, Abuja.
I have no doubt in my mind that the Nigerian Police Trust Fund is well positioned to guarantee to the nation a well-equipped, well-trained and well-motivated Nigerian police force that could be prompt and responsive to security challenges in line with global standards and best practices in the furtherance to the internal security vision of Mr. President.
I therefore urge officers and men of Nigerian Police Force to continue putting in their best in the discharge of their duties and to adopt a holistic internal security mechanism in the country so as to ensure the provision of conducive environment needed to boost operations of Nigerian Police Force and by extension and place a more peaceful and safe country for economic buoyancy and an improved livelihood for the citizenry.
The Minister of Power, Abubakar Aliyu, has said that President Muhammadu Buhari is working hard to end the epileptic power supply in the country. The minister stated this on Tuesday when he paid a courtesy visit to Governor Samuel Ortom in Makurdi, Benue State. The minister also said as part of the efforts, the Minister of Power is constructing a 40 megawatts electricity plant from Kashimbila, Taraba to Yandef in Benue State. He also disclosed that the ministry is constructing switching substations in Uba, Zakibiam, Buruku and Ayin in Benue. Responding, the Benue State Governor commended President Muhammadu Buhari-led administration for providing power to boost the social well-being of the people of Benue State. The Minister of Power, in a related development, has disclosed that the national electricity grid may improve beyond the 5,000 megawatts transmission and distribution capacity with the execution of power transmission projects worth 43.75 billion naira. The minister submitted 16 memos for the projects which were recently approved at the Federal Executive Council. The minister will disclose this in a statement, further noted that the current grid supply hovers around 5,000 megawatts, emphasizing that it was not enough for the country as the major challenges within the transmission and distribution value chain. Just this week, the federal government lifted its suspension on the microblogging site Twitter after 7 months. The decision was announced by Mr. Kashifu Inuwa Abdullahi, Chairman, Technical Committee, Nigeria Twitter Engagement, and Director General of the National Information Technology Development Agency, NITDA. Mr. Kashifu, in a statement in Abuja on Wednesday, said the approval was given following a memo written to President Muhammadu Buhari by the Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Isa Ali Ibrahim Pantami. Since the Twitter ban in Nigeria, report has it that some people have been using a virtual private network to bypass the restrictions. The federal government, through the Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Dr. Isa Ibrahim Pantami, and his counterpart in the Ministry of Interior, Ogbeni Rauf Aregbesola, has commissioned the Digital Nigeria Center project in Osun State. The Digital Nigeria Center project is in line with Item 2 of the 8 pillars of the National Digital Economy Policy and Strategy 2020-2030, and it is expected to enhance the underlying principles and fundamental philosophy of the emerging digital culture in Nigeria. The DNC, hitherto known as School Knowledge Center (SNC), targets students and youths for skills acquisition in order to increase information and communication technology (ICT) literacy among school teachers and students. provide platform for accessing online educational resources, equip students with ICT skills, facilitate ICT adoption in teaching and learning, increase pass rate in mathematics, English language, and other science subjects. The United Nations World Food Programme (WFP) has concluded plans to collaborate with the federal government in form of technical support on the National Homegrown School Feeding Program that was launched in 2016. In a joint statement, the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development and the WFP stated that the partnership was an outcome of a joint assessment conducted in the first quarter of last year to identify ways of improving scaling up and sustaining the program to provide a meal per day for 9 million children in 53,000 public primary schools. The Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Sadiya Farouk, lauded the technical support from the WFP as timely, relevant and well appreciated. The minister said the investment was fully funded by government because of its sheer potentials as a development driver, adding that the program was strengthened and sustained so that it could continue to support the needs of children, families, women, and communities it targets. The federal government has commenced the final process of redeeming the 1.3 billion naira outstanding allowance to 9,066 NPower batches A and B volunteers. The Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Bashiru Nura Alkali, in a statement this week, said the payment covered the 5 months arrears to the volunteers. He said the payment of the remaining 4,955 was withheld pending conclusion of further investigation for having multiple accounts and receiving other payments such as salaries and allowances from multiple federal government ministries, departments and agencies on permanent employment and corruption in apparent violation of the regulations guiding the NPower volunteer. He said accounts of 14,021 volunteers were flagged in March 2020 by the federal government payment system, the Government Integrated Financial Management Information System, GIVMIS, to eliminate volunteers suspected of committing the above infraction. And finally, on ministry news, the federal government has just recently earmarked the sum of 230 million naira for the purchase of law books, management of litigations and arbitrations in the Federal Ministry of Transportation in the 2022 budget has signed into law by President Muhammadu Buhari. This is in addition to an allocation of 60 million naira for the implementation of the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement in the transportation sector. The two ongoing projects are part of initiatives aimed at repositioning the transport sector to optimally contribute to the nation's gross domestic product in GDP in 2020. The Minister of Transportation, Rotimi Amechi, has consistently maintained that the ministry under his watch will be revamped to avail Nigerians the opportunities to earn legitimate income for a living.